Welcome back, everyone, to yet another Canadian Cock Talk here on the Spurs Up Show, the home of all your best Gamecocks content. And this upcoming weekend, the Gamecocks, we take on Mississippi State, obviously, who is one of the better teams in college baseball. So we got a big series there, hopefully going out for a series win. I want to see a series sweep. I don't care how good Mississippi State is. I'm always looking for the series sweep. Always got to be optimistic. Football season, spring game's over. I mean, we're going to get into SEC Media Days soon enough. It'll come soon enough. But I want to talk some Carolina basketball. Why don't we talk some Carolina basketball here on a Thursday? Because the basketball season this year, yeah, people aren't going to talk about it throughout the offseason, be like, oh, I'm really optimistic for Gamecocks basketball this season and all that stuff. But with the recent news of it is expected that Jermaine Couisnard and Keyshawn Bryant are going to return to the program. Of course, Justin Minaya moved on. He moved on to Providence, which was a big loss. Don't get me wrong. Justin Minaya, amazing defender, and he was overall a good three-point shooter. Definitely one of the better three-point shooters on this Carolina basketball team in his career at Carolina. And it sucks. It sucks that he left, but the fact that we're going to get back Keyshawn and Jermaine, I think gives us an opportunity or a chance for something special to happen in Carolina basketball next season. I'm not saying that this team is going to be national championship ready, but I'm saying that a NCAA tournament appearance is not out of reach this season coming up if we have Keyshawn back and if we have Jermaine. Like, first of all, talking about Keyshawn Bryant, I honestly believe that if he can be consistent, obviously AJ Lawson's probably your best player from last season, but in those games where AJ really wasn't on his game, and I'm pretty sure that stretched, like Keyshawn had a 3-game stretch from the LSU game to, I'm pretty sure it's like Auburn or something, just constantly back-to-back games, setting new season high in points, assists, rebounds. If Keyshawn could score 20 plus points consistently, I really believe, and I honestly believe this, Keyshawn Bryant is definitely one of the better players in the SEC. I'm telling you, he is a freak of an athlete. The kid's got hops, and he's just overall one of the best players in the SEC if he could just be consistent. When he's on, he's on. He's hot, and he's just a guy that I'm really excited about to have back in this program if we do get him back. And it's guys like Keyshawn Bryant. It's guys like Jermaine Couisnard who, again, if Keyshawn wasn't on and AJ weren't on, it was Jermaine Couisnard who was on. And when he gets in his rhythm as well, again, I think Keyshawn Bryant has the ability to easily be the best player on this team, but not surprised at all if Jermaine goes out next season and is by far our best player. These two kids got talent and they got what it takes to lead this team in terms of scoring, in terms of assists, and whatever. They're going to be your big scorers, and you need to be successful on a team. Like, you look at Baylor this last season. They had guys who were scoring 20-plus points each and every game. You look at Gonzaga. You look at all the really good teams. You need guys who aren't afraid to take over the game at any given point. Yes, sharing it around the basketball is great and everything, and it's good to have guys constantly who can score, multiple guys that you could rely on to score the basketball. But I think it is still important that in your basketball program, you need those one or two guys that have that, if you play 2K or whatever, that have that orange juice, that hot takeover, whatever you want to call it, that could just go out and take over a game at any given point. Because, NBA is a completely different game from college basketball. I think that I'm going to use an NBA comparison, but I think that it's also ludicrous at the same time, where you're not going to win any NBA championship if your team does not have LeBron, does not have Curry, does not have Giannis, does not have Kawhi, or does not have, KD. You add any of those players, if you don't have any of those players, you're not going to win the NBA championship. It's just not going to happen. Like, the NBA is so individual player based where you need to have at least one guy who is just going to go out and put up 40 points a game or average a triple-double. That's just how the NBA works. I'm not saying college basketball is a completely different game where it's more of old school basketball. It's not as flashy as the NBA, but you still need, with that being said, you still need some of those guys, some of those superstar players to be able to take over the game. I think in college basketball, you share the ball around a lot more. It's not as much individual player based, but that does not take away the factor of needing those superstar guys, those guys who are able to take over the game. And I really feel like if we get Keyshawn Bryant and Jermaine Couisnard back, they could definitely be those guys for our team. easily 110%. And maybe the Gamecocks basketball program just had a down year last year. Maybe Frank Martin had a down year last year. Like, we know the COVID excuse. Whatever. Your opinion on whether you think COVID affected this team or not does not deter from the fact that they can go out and have a bounce back year this year, that they can have a rebound year, and maybe we find the Gamecocks in the NCAA tournament. And if not, if we don't, Frank Martin probably gets fired and the Gamecocks basketball program restarts all over again, and hopefully we can hit it better there. But let's say we do get hot and we do make an NCAA tournament. Let's go see another 2017 Final Four round. So that is my video for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Definitely like down below. Whatever platform you're on, share the video. Thanks for watching, and definitely come back next time.